From a whale graveyard to a hidden chest packed with unreleased U.S. banknotes and an entire forgotten ship graveyard, the most insane historical treasures aren't locked inside a museum. They are sitting right beneath your feet. Today, we are cracking open the most unbelievable underground discoveries on Earth. Imagine this. After occupying your suburban home for 4 straight years, you decide to tear out an old bathroom jacuzzi, only to expose a hidden iron hatch dropping 6 meters straight down into a pitch-black, flooded underground space beneath your concrete foundation. No one could have ever predicted a massive whale carcass graveyard sitting completely out in the open air instead of resting on the dark ocean floor. But when local water lines rapidly receded, it exposed their calcified remains to create an unforgettably surreal desert landscape. A routine, ordinary afternoon instantly transformed into a massive historical event for these construction workers when a hidden cave opening packed with dozens of ancient Buddhist statues was suddenly breached and uncovered. 99% of the time, the only thing you are ever going to discover inside an abandoned neighborhood garage is thick piles of stagnant dust. But if you manage to hit that elusive 1% anomaly, you are looking at an historical jackpot. Rumors claim that during World War II, deep within the borders of Belgium, behind massive iron gates and a kilometer-long subterranean tunnel, sat a hidden military submarine. And when this urban explorer finally breached the structural entrance, he proved the beautiful legend was 100% real. Apparently, claustrophobia was not a recognized medical condition until after World War II, because it is impossible to understand why naval sailors would willingly volunteer to lock themselves inside this microscopic beaver mini-submarine back in 1944. You are currently looking at a strange, heavy stone structure that locals genuinely mistook for a downed UFO when they first uncovered it. And the longer you analyze its flawless mathematical geometry, the more you start to suspect they were right. Take a close look at how aggressively nature can reclaim a rotting, abandoned ship hull, transforming old industrial iron plates into a beautiful, self-sustaining ecological masterpiece. While aggressively ripping up old rotten floorboards inside a 10-year-old house, an astonished homeowner uncovered stacks of rare 19th century currency hidden inside a secret wall cavity, including a pristine 1862 Civil War dollar bill. Hidden deep inside the isolated forests of Rhode Island, resting completely alone amidst the marshy swamps, sits an old architectural landmark. An explorer tracking anomalies stumbled right into a hidden automotive graveyard containing roughly 50 classic British sports cars rotting away inside a Nottinghamshire forest, with rare Daimlers, MGAs, and Triumph GT6s slowly vanishing beneath collapsing wooden barns and decades of wild overgrowth. This intrepid urbex creator successfully cracked open the heavy hatches of 2 massive military hovercrafts abandoned in Shanghai's Fengxian district, discovering that the tactical GPS systems, climate controls, and interiors still smelled completely brand new, despite sitting deserted on a remote coastal lot. When the political regime collapsed back in 2024, military forces scrambled in a panic to evacuate their Syrian air bases, but they left some massive assets behind. Amateur scuba divers swimming off the coast of Caesarea spotted what they initially mistook for cheap plastic toys, which turned out to be 2,000 gleaming 11th century gold coins from a historic Fatimid shipwreck, marking the largest underwater gold hoard ever pulled from the region. Beachgoers walking near Marina del Rey, California, received a terrifying surprise in March 2023 when a crewless, fully operational motor cruiser rode the ocean waves straight onto the sand, with its engines still humming. The owner completely vanished, and 0 logbook explanations left behind. Deep-sea divers navigating Portsmouth Harbor located a sunken steel fishing trawler, still tightly tethered to its harbor mooring line, with its heavy flotation buoy dragged completely underwater by the kinetic fury of Storm Eunice, which shattered England's all-time wind record at 196 kilometers an hour. You wouldn't realize it at first glance, but this decaying ship repair yard was once one of the most heavily funded, prosperous maritime hubs in the entire USSR, acting as a winter lock for giant passenger ships until the collapse of the Soviet economy turned these iron giants into rusted statues sinking into the mud. High up in the frozen peaks of the Alps, carved directly into the sheer vertical rock face, explorers located a heavy steel door that looks like a portal to a fantasy realm, but actually conceals a secret, unmapped military bunker with a massive artillery cannon still locked and loaded. The casual purchase of an old office filing cabinet nearly triggered an active crime scene investigation when a woman pulled out a loaded .38 caliber Iver Johnson revolver hidden inside. But custom engravings reading Captain John Straczynski allowed sheriff's deputies to quickly trace the weapon back to a legendary captain of the Akron Police Department. Smart university students don't hunt through local thrift stores just to save money. They do it because they know it's the absolute fastest way to get rich on the cheap. Proven by two creators who located 5 authentic NASA flight suits sitting at the bottom of a clearance bin for just 20 cents each, with tags verifying they flew into space during the 1980s shuttle missions. 11 ancient rings and 2 valuable medallions traveled 1,500 years from the collapse of the Roman Empire all the way to a second-hand store shelf in British Columbia, sitting under a ridiculous price tag of just $30, until a passing archaeologist instantly recognized their museum-grade value. This vintage ceramic pig looked suspicious to collectors from the exact moment it hit the auction block. And for good reason. Hidden deep inside its hollow frame were 8 tightly wrapped plastic bags containing $2,028 in crisp cash, despite the entire unit being sold for a meager $11. You can locate completely unexplainable mechanical anomalies at local flea markets, including functional weapons engineered for the size of a flea, rumored to be built by a master Swiss watchmaker who lost his hand dexterity and spent years handcrafting micro pistols that shoot real, custom-engineered miniature bullets. Locating loose pocket change inside an old winter sweater is always a great feeling, but it hits completely differently when that pocket change amounts to a staggering $42,000 in cash, which is the exact surprise that awaited an honest thrift store employee who managed to track down the family who accidentally donated it. Some lucky flea market enthusiast located an authentic, empty 1850s bisque metallic coffin sitting at a standard market stall, representing a rare, airtight sealed iron sarcophagus engineered during historical cholera outbreaks to permanently lock away deadly airborne pathogens from escaping into the public. Deep within the treacherous, alligator-infested swamps of Florida, explorers can still track down a completely forgotten Cold War military base infrastructure, once engineered for hazardous weapon testing. Even a master explorer like Indiana Jones would be left stunned finding an 2,000-year-old subterranean library vault measuring a massive 60 meters long and 10 meters high, packed with 84,000 pristine ancient manuscripts tracking historical medicine, astronomy, and lost history. You will never be able to walk past a broken, abandoned vending machine on the street without checking inside to see if there is a literal portal to a bank vault cash cassette hidden behind the coin slot.
Sometimes the strangest discoveries are hidden where no one even thinks to look. And today, you're about to see that for yourself.